my obsession with the first moments. It's all about the first moments.
So Alex, how do we make a killer YouTube intro to blow up our channel?
It's about value per second, not seconds of value.
What do you mean with that?
You can just get to the point faster and say as much as you can with as few words as you can.
So like Imangazzi?
The more you're cognizant, the more that you're cognizant and you're aware of, the more.
So Alex, are you cognizant of your best performing intros?
So when I looked at the top 100 or whatever YouTube videos I had, the ones that were the top 10 all had proof promise plan.
And which one of those is the most important?
If I had to weight them, proof is number one.
Really? But what if I edit my videos with After Effects and crazy Imangazzi animations?
Proof, motherfuckers. Proof. Like, that's what matters. Like, if you get one thing out of all the stuff that I have to say here, it's proof.
How then, Alex? How do I prove myself in the intro? They feel stupid not to watch. I mean, I'm just a guy, like you said.
He's just a dude talking about social media. How do you know? How do you know that what he's saying is true? He has no proof.
So what if I tell them my accomplishments in the intro? Like I did $5 million in revenue, hired over 50 people, have a channel with 7,000 subscribers. What if they don't believe me?
It's like, Alex, I have proof and no one believes me. No shit. You have terrible proof, right? And so proof exists on a continuum.
All right, tell me more.
So there's two ways that you can show proof, right? So if you're advanced or you've been doing this a while, then you want to show proof of result, period. You want as many as you possibly can in the format I talked about, the most believable way. Great.
Yeah, I see. I actually did this 6-month YouTube experiment. I got 600,000 views since then. So you are saying that my results are more important than my content?
I get a disproportionate amount of attention because what I have done, not because what I'm saying is necessarily novel.
We know you're the $100 million guy, but give us the psychology why this proof works.
The stuff has to be good, but the frame in which people consume content is the messenger. Like, the messenger is inextricably linked with what they are consuming, with the message itself. And so I think not enough people are paying attention to who they are and what they have done when they are claiming that they can help someone, and trying to focus way too much on the stuff being said.
So we focus on what we say more than what we did. And what you are saying is that we have to be more cognizant on how people view us. Do you have an example?
Like, hey, I'm a teacher and I will give you great investing advice. It's like, well, you can't be that good.
All right then, but what about beginners?
If you're newer, you can show proof of effort. So I could have said, I made 35,000 posts. That's still enough work that people are like, well, I don't want to do that work. I want to see what he learned.
I see. So not only proof of results, but also showing proof of effort in the intro is valuable.
Okay, well, I can't outcome anyone yet because I'm early, but you can outwork people. And so I can just say, like, I made 35,000 posts. What I learned. I'm going to compress a lot of time for you. That's valuable, no matter who you are.
It's interesting, but do you have a framework for that? I might forget it.
And so fundamentally, when you're making content, one of the easiest frames to use is how can I give someone time back? So people want to buy time at a bargain.
Yeah, that's why I created these YouTube thumbnail templates. What should I do with it?
Give away everything.
For how much?
Absolutely free.
All right, link below to download them for free. To create thumbnails like this, and this in minutes. But what else about intros, Alex?
And so some of you do have amazing videos that you spent a really long time on, but it took you 45 seconds to get to the point of the video and you lost everybody.
So it really are our intros that need to improve, huh? Before you explain your intro framework, what about Mr. Beast's advice?
Mr. Beast and those guys is they talk about confirming the thumbnail as soon as humanly possible. And what they mean by that is that when someone clicks, they want to know that what they clicked on is exactly the thing that they wanted. And so the way that you do that is make it as congruent as humanly possible in multiple ways. So based on what the headline is versus what the person says in the first few seconds, also what they see, what they hear, you want to have multiple different ways of confirming the thumb as fast as possible.
I've heard it before, but I don't really understand. Do you have an example?
If I say, hey, I'm going to go smash this Lamborghini and toss it off a cliff, then as soon as you start the video, you want to show the cliff, the Lamborghini, and say, this is what I'm going to do. And you want to say that as fast as possible. So they're like, oh, this isn't some clickbait, whatever. This is what this guy's going to do.
So we need to make sure that we answer the viewer's question, is this clickbait, as fast as possible. But what about educational videos like this one?
In education, how do you approximate that they're going to get what they want to get? It's different. I can't show you the result. I have to give you proof that I can help you. And that's at least how I think about it. I think proof is an approximation of the likelihood that they're going to get what they click to see.
Okay. Proof is an approximation of the likelihood that they're going to get what they clicked to see. Explain.
If you click a video that says like the best investment advice in the world, and then the first 5 seconds, it's like, my name's Warren Buffett and I own Berkshire Hathaway. It took me 94 years to be worth $100 billion. Here's 8 things you probably want to consider. You're like, okay.
Yeah, but don't we then attract a lot of lazy people?
Part of the reason that being an authority and having proof that you can do what you say you can do matters is because it's actually more efficient for the listener. If you're a teacher who says they can help me to invest, you might have information that's better than Warren Buffett's. But I constantly have to appraise what you're saying in real time to decide whether I do think it's better or not. If the richest man in the world gives you investing advice, you actually don't have to turn that part of your brain off. You're like, I'm just going to listen and take it as fact. And so it's actually lazier consumption to listen to an authority, which comes into whole ethical things around persuasion. But like fundamentally, that is why demonstrating authority is so important, because it actually makes it easier for them. It's less effort for the consumer.
Yeah, I see truth in that, but Alex, we are not Warren Buffett yet. So give us more beginner advice.
I looked at 2,000 ads that Jim Launch had run over 4 or 5 years because I was helping their marketing team with something. And of the top 50 ads, 40 of them were not me, just proof.
Very interesting. 40 out of 50. But before you tell me about the proof, what about the other 10?
10 of them were educational, which I see as an approximation of proof. If you're very good, people are like, oh, wow, he knows more than me. That's pretty smart. Okay, he must know, right? So then you have to, basically someone has to reason that you're good versus just showing them that you're good.
Okay, so show more, speak less. But how do we actually increase the likelihood that our next video will do well?
When we prep a lot for a video, we know that it's going to do better in general.
Sounds like work, Alex. Isn't there a shortcut to go viral?
So at Acquisition.com, we've been saying it's no silver bullets, only golden BBs. And so the things that create excellence are never one big thing, because if it was one big thing, everyone would do that big thing. And realistically, if there ever are silver bullets, everyone immediately starts doing them and the whole industry moves up and then it becomes baseline again. And so it's all the details. It's the 99 golden BBs that matter. And so if you don't already have checklists, live by checklists. Like live, because you can't keep it all in your head. It's like, okay, I have to have, the intro has to have these 4 things. And I also like, just have it in front of you. And it's like, okay, let's make sure.
It's good. That's why I created my thumbnail templates. But besides checklist, what else is important?
One of the things I would encourage you to do, like I wish my team could like nod their heads right now. We will sometimes go through an entire video and finish it. And I'll be like, I think we can do that one just again, but better. And they're like, run it again. And so we run it again. And sometimes we get at the end, we're like, I feel like we could do it better the 3rd time. It's like, all right, even though I've just said the same thing for the last 2 hours, because I just did an hour-long video, took it again, hour-long video, took it again, and then the 3rd try it comes out perfect, and then it crushes. And so one of my favorite sayings in training is awesome again. Like you're training a sales guy, you're like awesome again. And so you're training yourself, you just have to think to yourself like awesome again.
That shit crazy. Even at your level, you are re-recording an hour-long video twice. Sounds like my boy Iman needs your advice.
The more you're cognizant, the more that you're cognizant and you're aware of, the more
jokes aside, how do you actually prep your intros, Alex?
Fundamentally, if you have each video that you outline with what is the promise for this person, right? What is the proof that I can deliver on that promise? And then what's the plan that I'm going to walk them through? And you want to get all that done in like 8 seconds if it's a long.
That's it? Proof, promise, plan in 8 seconds?
What's the promise? What's the proof that you can deliver on that promise? And then, okay, now I'll listen to your plan. Here's the layout for the video. Here's the roadmap. Here's the framework.
I see, but what about this data-driven way that you once talked about? Like the one where you find out which intro sentences are likely to perform better in the intro based on data.
So I'll post this stuff and I'll be like, okay, those are the ones that people thought were interesting. And then the threads become long format and the shorts become short format.
I love the data-driven approach. It's why I use this free tool to A/B test my bios. By the way, link below to my Google Sheet with 70 other free tools that I use in my business. But Alex, if they don't want it, what advice do you have for them?
Give up now.
Alex, come on, be serious. You sold your company for 50 million. You had all the proof. Content is easy for you. What about us?
So you have 2 options. One is you can say, I will never do content again. I mean, that's like taking the logical extreme. Like that's it. I will never try again. I am so fragile that me putting an hour into a video and it not working out, that I will forever forego a free form of advertising that could get me customers.
All right, I get it. I'm cognizant of what you just said. So it will all be worth it?
Building an audience is the most valuable thing I've ever done.
So it's not even about the content itself?
It really wasn't about the content at all. It was about the audience. What I didn't understand was the content you create isn't the compounding asset. The audience is. So even though the content may disappear in time, your audience keeps growing.
Aha, content fades, audience stays. So make sure you build the right one. And you don't have to abandon a 7,000 subscriber channel like me, because I went viral multiple times, but to the wrong people. But Alex, don't you have another insight?
I would highly encourage you to just make the content that gets 40 views, that gets 100 likes, that you know for sure will help a very specific person, because when you do help that very specific person.
If you want to know it, watch this video next. Talk soon.